I'm going to be demonstrating where you should be setting up your first outpost in Starfield. In contradiction to every other post in Reddit or video, well, except for one. Now this outpost can be done day one of the game, just after finishing the Crete mission, or at any time thereafter. You don't need any skills, you'll need less than 1,000 credits, perhaps none if you already have the resources you need on hand from Crete. And that's about it. If you haven't upgraded your ship yet, that's fine, it'll work, but I do recommend that you upgrade the cargo as soon as possible. If you followed my video on upgrading the Frontier ship to an absolute powerhouse, you'll be making this outpost your next step, and that extra cargo that you added will be filled up quite quickly. I'll link to the Frontier upgrade video in the description and also in a card at the end. So make sure you have an empty inventory, and from the landing pad in Jemison, we're going to head to the Jemison Mercantile. It will be around the bend and up to the left. And here's where we're going to procure any resources that we already don't have to create our outpost. You can acquire the resources needed for this outpost from many other merchants on other planets, but for the ease of explanation, and assuming you're early game and at Jemison anyway, we're going to be using Jemison for this example. We're going to need the following at a minimum: 28 aluminum, 2 beryllium, 16 cobalt, 20 iron, 15 nickel, 16 tungsten, 4 lubricant, 2 zero wire. If you don't have a bed on the ship, grab 2 fiber also. And now that we have what we need, it's time to head to space, so let's fast travel back to the ship. Now I'm going to plot our course, so we're going to open our map and expand out to the galaxy view. We're going to head to the Bessel system. The system is above Sol. It is easy to get to. You won't need any special grav drives or system upgrades to get there. Once in the system, you'll set course to Bessel 3b, a small moon, right next to Bessel 3. Once you're in orbit, make sure you save your game. Then you're going to want to open the map and press the R button to initiate the scan for resources. Once that is done, you'll want to find the general location that I have referenced here. You're going to be specifically looking for the biomes here. Aluminum is in the desert, iron is in the mountains, and nickel is in the hills. We're going to be looking for 3 sectors, each of those biomes right next to each other. And pixels are going to matter here. You may want to reduce your sensitivity on your mouse to get the accuracy that you need. I've not tried it with a controller, but I can't imagine that it's going to be easier. Once you have found the 3 biomes and their sectors adjacent to each other, you should land on the mountain tile. Now I've tried this landing on the others, but with different results.
Landing site launch.
This moon has no fauna to worry about, but it does have freezing rain, corrosive rain, and radiation. Each of those will damage you, so you will need to pass time for clear weather if your suit and gear isn't protective enough. In order to find the location specifically, we'll need to bring out our scanner and hit the R button. This will put us into build mode and allow us to place our outpost beacon. With the beacon out and ready to be placed down, it will identify the resources that we can extract within its radius, so we don't need to guess. And with the beacon out, it's time to head to the area where the biomes converge. You can clearly see it down in the valley. The biome we are in now with the crystals is the iron. The black hill is the nickel. And the tan flat is the aluminum in the desert. So start heading into the valley, just next to the black hill. And we're just going to keep following the seam where the biomes meet until we find an area with all of the resources that we're looking for. And take a minute to try to find the sweet spot. whereas much of each resource is in range. And when you get it positioned, place your beacon. But now it's time to cycle through our extractors. We're going to be looking for the resource nodes, making sure that they are within the radius enough so that we can put down our extractors. You can't move the radius unless you destroy the beacon, and in doing so, it also destroys everything within it. So you want to do this step first. That way you can replace the beacon in a better location if needed. Now that we made sure all the resource nodes are viable, it's time to start putting down extractors. But start small. We'll begin with the iron extractor, finding a spot that will allow more to be added later. The extractor's radii can overlap, but not cross over an actual extractor. But don't worry, because you can move any of these structures later. Once that's down, let's select the aluminum extractor and place it on its resource node. Again, maximizing the number of extractors that can be placed. Next, we need to add enough power to supply those extractors. Your power needed versus your power available are on the bar in the bottom right of the screen. Just make sure you always add more power before adding more structures that consume it. You can see me adding solar arrays here, but they're totally unnecessary. Wind turbines require only aluminum, cobalt, and nickel, which we will be producing endlessly right at this outpost going forward. So again, just make sure you add power before adding extractors or any other power-consuming structure. And now we're adding a storage box. This isn't necessary at this stage, but it definitely helps. Additionally, I'm adding an industrial workbench simply because I have the resources on hand. But now that we're producing iron and aluminum, these can be created at any time. And next we're going to link our extractors to this box to make it easier. From build mode, just hit tab and you'll enter modify mode. Now we can highlight an extractor and right mouse click to create a link chain. Simply move to the object that is the target and then click E. That will now create an output link, meaning that everything extracted from that unit will be put into the storage container. And we'll do this for the other extractor as well. And now you can fast travel to your ship, assuming that you have a bed. If not, use the fiber that you would have bought at the mercantile and the other resources and craft one and put it down. And now we're going to sleep for 1 hour. You'll note that 1 hour on this moon is equal to 57 hours UT time. All resources in the game are extracted at a rate equivalent to UT time. So the extractors on this outpost will gather resources 57 times faster.
How can I be of service, Captain?
Now that we've taken a snooze, let's head back to the outpost by fast traveling, check the status of our resources. The extractors themselves don't hold very much, but we're going to address that in a minute. Let's see if we can improve our quality of life a little bit. We'll take these resources and craft some adaptive frames using our industrial workbench. You'll notice in the upper right hand corner that we have access to far more resources than what we have in our inventory. Workbenches use resources from the entire outpost, including your ship. This allows us to create a massive amount of material, increasing our experience level with every item crafted. The rate at which we can produce resources and then craft earning XP makes this the most legit early game XP farm, period. Now let's use these adaptive frames and put down a large landing pad with Shipbuilder. This will bring our bed closer and make life a little bit easier. Given these harsh conditions, we need something to take respite from the weather. We're also going to put down a transfer container. This will allow us to access the items that it contains from the ship's cargo directly. Again, making life a little bit easier. There are two ways to get your ship on the landing pad. You can enter the shipbuilder and choose to modify your ship, which will bring it to the pad, but that requires you to save and reload the game. Or you can fast travel to your ship and fly it there by taking off and landing at the outpost. I'm not sure which one is faster. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Linking our storage box to our transfer container will fill it with resources. That's going to make those resources accessible from our cockpit cargo interface. We also don't want to forget to add our extractors for cobalt and nickel. We're going to start by adding a group of 3 storage boxes for those to share, and we'll add 2 more to the group for iron and aluminum. I do, however, recommend that you create separate storage for each resource. That way you won't have any production bottlenecks down the road. Then just place the extractors for cobalt and nickel, as we did the others before, linking them to the new set of storage boxes that we just created. The storage boxes then need to be linked first to last. That way the resources will move from one to the next, giving us more capacity. Remember to delete and replace links as needed to make sure the flow of resources moves in the right direction. This is done by highlighting the link and holding R to remove it. Then you just simply recreate it as you did before. Now you have the best production outpost that is attainable day 1, with just a few credits. As your needs increase, you can simply scale more extractors, more storage, or even intra-system transporting. If you enjoyed or benefited from this content, please utilize that like button. And if you'd like to see more, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you taking your time to watch the video. If you enjoyed the content, please utilize the like button, as that simple action benefits creators like myself the most. Also, if you're interested in seeing more, subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be able to more easily find previous videos as well as regularly posted content in the future. And of course, if you have something to say or you want to join the conversation, please use the comments below, as I genuinely want to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Until the next one.